We got another year, another season.
Yep. Welcome back to the Swish Masters Podcast, a show that is lamenting the status of one of our favorite shows, which we'll get into later, man. That's tough. But playoffs are here. We're ready, man. Let's go.
Absolutely, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. We're here a few days before the finals. On one side, the west side, you got the Dallas Mavericks. And on the east side, you got the historic Boston Celtics matching up. And I'm happy for the Mavericks. I'll put that out there first. Very excited for Luka and Kyrie. And on the other side, the Celtics, who I'm not so much of a fan of, but I respect them. They've been great all season. Had a good season so far, and we'll see who comes out on top, man.
Yeah, man, we'll see. But like you said, man, let's get into what's going on and what happened. So, if you're a basketball fan, if you saw the series play out, we were both dead wrong.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise, bro.
Yeah, we were so wrong. But shout out to the Mavericks. They did win the series 4-1. Zay, what's your thoughts about what the Mavericks did and how they beat the Timberwolves?
Man, I think it was a great performance from Kyrie Irving, setting the tone early. I think in that previous series that they had, and I think he saw Ant's post game talking about he had Kyrie came out, set the tone early. We had seen Kyrie was kind of struggling in the first half of the previous series. Kind of like didn't get it going till late in the game, but in that first game, he set the tone. He was scoring, he was going at guys, and just really like having his way. And then the rest of the squad, you got to give a lot of credit to obviously Luka, the Western Conference Finals MVP. But you look at what the other guys were doing with like Derrick Jones Jr. hitting threes, getting putback rebounds. PJ Washington bringing that toughness, playing great defense, making timely shots, making the right play. Daniel Gafford being a force in the middle, big dude that can jump, he can alter shots, he's dangerous in the pick and roll, lively, just coming out with just great energy, giving you dunks, giving you rim runs, giving you transition opportunities with his defense. Just very big time playing from a rookie who's also going through a lot with his family stuff. And overall, man, I'm just impressed. Jason Kidd, one of the best minds in basketball. Like, they got it done. They got it done quickly, and I'm impressed, bro. Like, Luka is not by any means quick. He's not very athletic, but he gets the job done, and he does it at a high level. So, really happy for the Mavs, bro. It's a good time in Dallas.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of your same sentiments, man. The lob is coming, man. Like it's hard to defend against that, though. It really is.
It's difficult.
But it's hard to guard against that. And we'll get into exactly what we're on the T-Wolves in a minute, but definitely want to shout out Derrick Jones Jr. PJ Washington, amazing series against OKC, but he hit timely shots when needed against the T-Wolves. Like, he wasn't as on fire as he was in OKC series, but he hit those timely shots when they needed it most. Derrick Jones, they have some really good depth over there with the Mavericks, man. And I agree with everything you said. Luka and Kyrie, they're actually blending together, meshing well. Kyrie's doing his thing. This very well could be, like what people have been saying, one of the best offensive backcourts in history. So we'll see. They have to finish the job first for that to be solidified for me. But I really want to get into this. We can go all day praising the Mavericks, but we gotta get to the other side as well. What happened, bro? We were so wrong with our predictions, bro. We both said T-Wolves and like 6 or 7 based on how they were playing, because it was like great, and they just shocked the world with their performance. And I ain't gonna lie, bro, the last game 6, I was watching the game, I cut it off by like second quarter or something like that. I was like, y'all ain't showed the play, I ain't watching it, so I turned it off, bro. I went on about my business. But what went wrong with the Timberwolves, man?
I'm just gonna say it. We try our best to respect this dude every year, and every year he just goes back on everything that is defense and becomes the most vulnerable deer in headlights I've ever seen. Rudy Gobert is a defensive liability, yet he's the defensive player of the year. And I'm all right, to be fair, a lot went wrong for the Timberwolves, right? Not just Rudy, but it's so blatantly being seen on the biggest stage that Rudy Gobert cannot be on the floor because he can't defend almost anybody in the playoffs. I don't know. It's like defensive player of the year, I'm gonna block 4 shots a game. Playoffs, no blocks. Put in blender. I can't stay in front of him. And I promise you, I'm not trying to make fun of this man. He's a professional and he's very good. He's a professional basketball player, but for some reason, the defense, or when he wins defensive player of the year, like that is like his defense for the year. And the playoffs is just like brand new, starting from scratch defense. I don't know, bro. And on the other side, Anthony Edwards, he was fatigued. We could tell that from probably like the game 7 in Denver. He was fatigued. Cat, I honestly have nothing bad to say about Cat. I think he played well. I'm glad he was going to the basket. I'm glad he was at least attacking. Someone was. Jaden McDaniels, he was solid. He just kind of like faded away after, I guess, that 3rd or 4th game. Like, he just wasn't really effective. Naz Reid didn't have like a big performance off the bench. Overall, man, I think they just kind of struggled offensively, and then no one could stop Luka and Kyrie in pick and roll situations. It was like Luka gets the matchup with Rudy Gobert, barbecue chicken. Gobert couldn't get back to defend the rim, so Gafford dunk. And the rebounding, they gave up too many offensive rebounds to me in one of those games. I was just like, bro, are y'all trying? Like, does anyone want to box out today? It was bad, bro. I just overall think that the Timberwolves, with being kind of fatigued, they didn't have a lot of offense to offer. They looked kind of stagnant. And on the other side, that pick and roll was just a monster. And Rudy Gobert really got the bad side of everything because we saw what happened. So that's what I'll say, bro. It was bad.
Yeah. I'm trying to keep it real, bro. Like you said, man, we tried. And we gave him props when he did well. It's just, you are the defensive player of the year, bro. I've never seen, I can't think of this ever, bro. If you won defensive player of the year, you have no impact whatsoever in the playoffs. Like, I'm not saying, of course he has some type of impact, but defensive player of the year, you're more than a help defender. That's really what you are, and that's really what he was in this series, bro. Last series too, it just worked out better for him. Like, it
Honestly.
really did. So,
Yeah.
you're telling me I need Cat to be the main. Like, no, sir. It just sucks because we can't do anything about it. He literally is a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, Hall of Fame worthy. Just those credentials alone make it Hall of Fame worthy. And with those credentials alone, you got to put him up there with the best defenders of all time. 4 of them. But I don't know, man. That's another conversation for another day. You got the longest wingspan. You can't stop one lob. I'm serious, bro. You can't stop one lob.
Yeah.
Yeah. That and then just. Yeah, man, I can go all day about Rudy Gobert. I'm gonna leave it alone. But, alright, Cat, he did take too many jumpers. He corrected it and went inside. He was efficient. Going to the series, I thought the Timberwolves had more depth, but the Mavericks showed us differently. I think a lot more now of the Mavericks' depth now because of what happened in this series. I agree with what you said. Anthony Edwards was a little bit fatigued. He talked about it post-game, like he knows how to prepare and train to make a long run like this. I believe we may see them back here again. Maybe we'll see the West is tough, and it shows in what's going on. The Mavericks, this is one of the toughest playoff runs in NBA history against these 50-win teams in the playoffs. So shout out to what they're doing. That just further proves that they're a real deal. Clearly they are in the finals, but just their path.
Yeah.
They're battle tested for real. Going through MVP candidate and Shea, and then going through what people are saying like the second Jordan and Anthony Edwards, but and the Defensive Player of the Year going against him and just doing their thing. It's all about matchups because I believe if they played the Nuggets would have handled the Mavericks. It's all about matchups to me. The Timberwolves were matched up well to handle the Nuggets, but they weren't matched up well to handle the Mavericks. But they just weren't. And in this offseason, y'all got to figure out what y'all want to do contract-wise, money-wise. Rudy Gobert, for example, what you want to do with that, because that's a lot of money. You gave up a lot of assets for him. I don't know if you get as many assets back if you do want to trade. They clearly have enough. It's maybe stylistically, you have to change some things. Each individual, what can you do to get better for me as his team? I know Anthony Edwards will put the work in. He'll get better. Full faith in him. The next person to me that needs to step up is Cat. Develop more of a post game for us, man. Just get what you want down below, because we know you can shoot. We need more from you. But if you don't have him down low, what does that mean for Rudy Gobert? So, like, Rudy, you did some crazy shots. Can you give me anything like that on offense at all, consistently? I don't know if you can give me a turnaround, 1 foot fade, whatever you did in that game. But can you give me some sort of offense so I can keep you on the floor? Like, otherwise, I don't know, bro. Just that's my thing. They just gotta get better. I believe they can be back here, but I was so disappointed. In that last game, it's just like the motivation was just not to get swept, and not to just weren't swept. It was like that was it. So that's why I literally turned the game off. I was like, I do not care what happens after this. I'm pretty sure the Mavericks got it, just because how they came out in the first quarter. I can tell. It was just one of those games. It's a disappointment. So that's my thoughts, bro.
Yeah, most definitely, man. That game 5, like you said, and I think that the Inside NBA guys alluded to this too, was that the energy for the Mavs was what the Timberwolves should have had. They had no sense of urgency. They didn't really have any plan besides let's not get swept. So that was it. That was like game 4 was like, this is what we got. And we're just gonna go home and lose. Like, yeah, they didn't have the energy and yeah, man. I was disappointed how it ended because they had such a phenomenal run. And like you said, we've been just watching Anthony Edwards emerge, and he just ran out of gas. And I was like, dang, bro, I get it, but also got to work a little harder, and he knows that. So I agree with you. I think they'll be back. But if I was them, and this is just me, not a personal dig, I'm looking at another option besides Rudy Gay. I mean, not Rudy Gay, Rudy Gobert. Because I don't want to see that again. If he is in Defensive Player of the Year consideration after this, I want to pull basketball credentials. I know, like Kendrick Perkins said, he's ashamed that he used his vote to vote for Rudy, and I hope that's a shared sentiment from whoever else voted for Rudy. No disrespect to Rudy, but bro, come on. Every year you do this. Like, for some reason, we just thought this year is gonna be different, and here you are, just making us look foolish again. It's fine. I'm done.
But something that goes on the coaches though. Why would you switch? And why was he in the game of that? You know what I'm thinking about, right? The Luka game winner.
Yep.
Had that boy on skates. Like, God.
It's kind of weird because it's like in that situation, if they happen to not switch, right, and Luka has McDaniels on him, who should have been on him, then you want Rudy there to like potentially protect the rim, but he still wasn't doing that. So it's like, yeah, he I don't know his position on the floor is at this point, because it's like, dang, you want the Defensive Player of the Year to be there to at least rim protect, but yeah, bro, I'm done with it.
Because you remember the best defensive game was when he was actually not playing, and they went small ball in the whole playoffs. That was like the best defensive performance we've seen in a long time.
I was thinking that too, bro. Like they had throughout the playoffs, they had some good stretches when he was not on the floor, and that says a lot. And I just, it's so frustrating, bro. It's so frustrating. I feel like the Timberwolves, I'm not even a Timberwolves fan per se, but I was very much like, oh, I'm enjoying this Anthony Edwards hype train. I'm like, all right, I'm rolling with these guys, and for it to be that being like the face of this whole series is just baffling, bro. But I think they'll be back.
Hopefully. And Pat needs to get back to basics to me. Be disciplined. He got in foul trouble too much, bro. Too much foul trouble. Get back to basics. Get that back over to snuff and be more disciplined. That's what I'm saying. The next step would have been Cat to me. And then I agree. You can do a trade, but at the same time, you got so much for him. I don't think you can just necessarily, because I feel like, again, they built that team to counter the Nuggets. And it worked out perfectly. But clearly, you need to do some more work, because the Nuggets are not just the creme de la creme of the Western Conference anymore. At least not right now. I feel like they are still good future contenders for sure, but you got to figure out something else too. Man, Rudy, it's tough.
It's tough. It's very tough. But you gotta figure something out. I don't know if it's at this point your lateral quickness, if you can like improve or not. You need to do some lateral lounges with your workouts. I don't know, bro, but
at this point he is who he is.
Yeah.
There's no more development. I think I hate to say this, bro. This is literally it, bro. He's the best player of the year just because he's tall, and he got the length for it. I feel like he got the physical attributes, but it's just and I feel like if Rudy had a different attitude too, he'll be more. It's just like, I don't see it, man. I don't see the want to. I don't see it, man. The eye test is not showing it to me. Stats wise, yes, that's why he won. The stats look great. The eye test, man, it's like, yo, no.
Well, one player who I think was thinking they should have deserved it more, or probably was in the running, is going to beat him next year for sure. And and that's the generational talent in Wembanyama. Wemby's coming, so I don't think we're gonna have to worry about Rudy being Defensive Player of the Year for another turn. I think this was his last one.
Unless he changes the narrative about himself somehow, then that's it.
We'll see. But like you said, I think the table is turned for him, bro. I think there's no more development. And unless you just have a drastic offseason change, yeah. You've now certified yourself on my not it players list. So thank you, Rudy. Oh, bro. It's so disappointing.
It is. Let's get into the next series, man. We saw the Celtics sweep the Pacers.
We did.
Man, this kind of felt... Well, we predicted the Celtics to win, but I don't think not a one was predicted to sweep, though.
Definitely didn't want to sweep.
And it was close to being really competitive to like more to what we probably predicted. Probably that series. But late situations in the clutch for the Pacers were terrible. Especially in that first game.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, shout out to the Celtics. Jaylen Brown won Eastern Conference Player of the Year. And to go back to the other series, shout out to Luka for winning, of course, Western Conference. But Jaylen got it over Jason
Tatum.
And I think it's well deserved. What do you think?
I think that he had a solid impact on the game. Sometimes I feel like people may look at statistics, but to me, and I think this has worked for them, to be honest, I just have questions. This is my only thing. Like, Tatum is great. Like, he's a great player for sure. But I just have questions about, like, his moments in the game and, like, how, like, the team feeds off of him. I feel like Jaylen Brown, the Celtics feed off of his energy a little bit more than Tatum's at the certain times in the game. And that's why I feel like he's, like, the heart of what they're doing and why he is the Eastern Conference MVP. I feel like his energy is like what drives them, if that makes sense. Tatum, yeah, he probably is going to get 32 a game and 7 rebounds or whatever, but I feel like he could do that in a loss. Whereas if Jaylen Brown is having a good game, the Celtics, and of course when Tatum is also having a good game, the Celtics have a better chance of winning. So that's why I feel like I agree, he's deserving of the award, because I feel like without him, even if Tatum is dropping 40, it may not result in what they want. And on the other side with the Pacers, like you said, clutch situations, they're a young team, and they should have. I feel like that first game was when they had the chance. Like I was like, oh man, they neck and neck, right? And then just bad decision making. After that, bro, it was just kind of like going through the motions type of thing. Tyrese got hurt. I just was not even. It wasn't interested in the series because my team was out. But to be fair, I was rooting for the Pacers, and yeah, they just, man, it was over like before I blinked, bro. I didn't even get a chance to like really see how this series was gonna go, because it was just like, all right, well, let's move on. But shout out to the Pacers for a great year. I don't think anyone expected them to get to the conference finals. I hate that Tyrese Halliburton was hurt. I feel like they really would have had at least a game if he was healthy, which he wasn't for pretty much the entire playoffs. But yeah, they ran into the best team in the game right now. So it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, those clutch situations, the injuries, you hit on all that. And remind me too, in the Mavs Timberwolves series was really close too. It all came down to late game heroics, like who would step up, whether it be Cat or Anthony Edwards, or would it be Kyrie and Luka. Kyrie and Luka stepped up more, and they won. In this series, the Celtics. This will start our next topic too, kind of. By the way, do you have any concerns with the Celtics run? Because for them to even be in that position, though, to be behind to this Pacers team, and then to have some things go your way, but whatever the Pacers did.
Yeah.
Do you have any concerns about the Celtics? Like, have they been tested enough? Because, like we talked about with the Mavericks, they clearly been tested enough going through these teams. I feel like they really are finals ready. The Celtics, we have faith in their roster, but are they really ready though?
I saw a picture on Twitter the other day about Celtics and Mavs, and on one side it's like a card. The whole picture is like a card. One side's got the Celtics, and it's Tatum walking through like a flower garden, sunshine and butterflies, and then you got Luka on the other side of the card, like walking through a heated valley with lava and all the teams that they had to beat. This is the first time, like, for the Mavericks since I think the 2010 Lakers, where they had to beat multiple 50-win teams to get to the finals, and that's what just happened to the Mavericks. The Celtics, let's face it, Heat, we were depleted, injured, didn't have it all 100%. So we won one game. Who did they play in the second round? I can't remember who they played.
Cavaliers.
Cavs. Oh, another same thing. Injuries. Donovan Mitchell wasn't able to go. Young team at that, and they're not like super playoff experienced. Easy path, right? You get to the Pacers, Tyrese gets hurt. Young team. They didn't really have anything that challenged them. They just did what they normally do, and they won because they have a better constructed team. But now you can't make, like you said, the clutch situations. You can't make those type of mistakes against a Kyrie and Luka-led Mavs, and they have defensive dogs. I don't really think that they're going to have an easy time just because they have the best record and they beat the Mavericks in the regular season. And now, like, especially since Luka and them have had like such a more difficult path. They've had to go up against like a lot of adversity as a team, whereas Boston really, I think Udonis Haslam said it too, like they haven't been battle tested. They're just coasting, and you can't coast in the finals, especially against two of the potentially like best backcourt scoring duo in the league. I don't think they're gonna be prepared as much because they really just haven't had a hard path. They haven't had a hard time with anyone. So they're gonna be surprised by how like hard I think the Mavs are gonna come out.
Yeah, a lot. Game one's gonna tell me a lot. And that gets into our last topic here, dribble drive debate here on the Swish Masters Podcast. Our predictions for the overall series. Now, because of everything you said, everything they went through, game one is going to be the ultimate test to me to show me where the Celtics are at. Again, we do need to see health of both of these teams a little bit. You know, Kristaps Porzingis is set to return. They need Porzingis if they want to get past this team. You need some size against this Mavericks team, as I very well know as an OKC fan. He needs size. So, and before I make my prediction, I'll let you go. I want to note that I do have a slight bias here because the Mavericks did beat my OKC Thunder team. And it was hard for me to watch them beat the Timberwolves like that. I ain't gonna lie. But I do want to recognize the fact that I do respect Luka and Kyrie and what they're doing. I love Kyrie's story. Their storylines into this series already. Luka and Porzingis' history there. How's that going to play out? He went at Rudy Gobert hard. I already know. We're in for some drama and some popcorn. Get your popcorn, all that stuff ready when he goes against Porzingis. That's going to be awesome. Other storyline: Kyrie returned to Boston. You promised these folks, "Hey, I'll be back." No, you weren't. You were gone. Now you're coming back in the finals in a heated environment. How's that gonna go for Kyrie? These are two of the main overall narratives that's gonna play out in this series, and I'm gonna be looking forward. I'm looking forward to it. However, my prediction, noting my bias, and I like Luka, but because of everything we said with the Celtics, like their easy path. This is not their first time being here, and because it's their easiest path, the Celtics cannot afford to lose this series. They have to win the finals. No excuses. So with that being said, with my expectations, with them being here before, I'm telling you, they need to win this series. They have to.
Yeah.
So I'm predicting the Celtics. This is gonna be a 7-game series. It should be intriguing, but if they don't come out with the right mindset, like you said, they try to coast through this. This will be a relatively quick series, like 5. Like if they don't come out with the right mindset, but they come out with the right mindset, do what they're supposed to do. 7. So that's my overall prediction.
So you say Celtics in 7, huh? Okay. Fair. To be honest as well, I have a huge bias against the Celtics. I'm a Heat fan for life, and never will like the Celtics. But they are a great team. 64-18 this year. Two of the best players, two-way players in the league, I think, in Tatum and Brown. I really respect those guys. Drew Holiday, very underrated player. Al Horford just continues to. We talk about Bron. Father Time is treating Al Horford pretty well. He's doing pretty good. But same token, he may be a target in that pick and roll for Dallas. So I don't know. Porzingis being out, that's going to be an issue. And the depth, like, I think Dallas has enough on their bench to give them some time to be able to give Luka and Kyrie that break. Like, you got Hardy coming off. He's playing great. Josh Green has been a great asset. Derek Lively, obviously, has been one of the best energies, best players in the playoffs for the Mavericks as well. So in that case, I'm saying Mavs in 7. And I think it's going to be difficult because obviously going up against a talented group. But because even though they've been there before, like the Celtics have been there before, they lost in 2022 to the Warriors, I think they're going to be facing another beast in Luka Doncic that we really haven't seen, because he's been battling for years, trying to get there, trying to get over the hump, and he's gotten to the biggest stage. And now with a running mate in Kyrie Irving, who also has a lot to prove because people have written him off with his decisions, or he's just been the center of like a lot of controversy. I think that they have something to prove. I think they have this edge about them. They have this toughness with PJ, with Derrick Jones Jr., who's gonna fly, Daniel Gafford, who's gonna like dunk on everybody. Like, I'm going Dallas for that reason. I think that Jason Kidd is gonna have these dudes ready. He's been there, and he's been there with this team as a player and now as a coach. So I think they're gonna be focused, and I think they're gonna play hard. Gonna be tough for the Celtics to match up with.
Yeah, objectively looking at it, if I was speaking objectively, I would say a lot of the same things that you were saying. But the fact of the matter is, if the Celtics lose, there will be some major changes that's going to happen, bro.
Ooh,
it has to be. You gotta make a decision. Tatum or Brown at that point, and new coach, because clearly that ain't gonna be working. So I'm gonna be honest. I feel like if they have Udoka, I feel like the team overall will have a different vibe to it. Like, the Mavericks have a better vibe going on right now compared to the Celtics, because you got all these rumors out talking about this Bruntelman and all that stuff with Tatum and Brown, There's a lot of ISO ball honestly going on with the Celtics. That's what I'm saying. They're winning on talent. I'm not sure. Jason Kidd put his players in the best scheme and the best position. Like he's actually coaching out here. So and shout out to Jason Kidd with what he's doing. But Joe Mazzulla, I don't know if he's gonna do that because it's talent. I don't know. So I would give the coaching advantage to the Mavericks. I would give the player advantage to the Mavericks, at least with superstar talent. And I like their depth better. It's just that the fact of the matter is, this is the best opportunity for the Celtics. And I'm telling you right now, they have to win. There's more pressure on them to win. In fact, they're favored by Vegas and sports betting sites to win. So it's like that tells you what they think as well. And they should be the favorites because they should. So that's our thoughts. So give me your prediction for game one. I'm telling you right now, Celtics gonna lose game one.
Mm-hmm. You say the Celtics losing game one?
Oh yeah, they don't lose game one.
Okay. I didn't.
That's my prediction because I feel like you said, part of the coaching thing. For Zingas, if he comes back, he won't be 100%. He'll be starting to get going. So I could very well see him lose, but it should be a close game. It's about how you lose too. It shouldn't get blown out. I can see him losing in a close game. You win game two. I can't believe I'm about to go game by game. But it's gonna be 7 games though, so it's like it doesn't matter how you look at it. It'll be some combination of Celtics lose game 1, win game 2, win game 3, lose game 4. Back and forth, and that's how I think it's gonna play out to me. But I think they're gonna lose game 1. But do you have any predictions for game 1?
Man, let me use my inner guru powers real quick. That's a good one. I agree with you. I feel like the Celtics probably come out lackadaisical in game 1. I think that they're gonna feel like too comfortable, and end up like letting the game slip away from them. I can see that happening. They've had a lot of time off too since their last series, and they probably taking some rest days and trying to like rev it up over these next few days. I can see that happening. Yeah, I'm gonna say Mavs come out in game 1 and get it. I'm with you on that.
I'll see that happening. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we're gonna give you reactions and predictions to each game, so y'all stay tuned to that for our immediate reaction to some games and predictions to some other ones. There's 2 games between these finals games, so plenty of time to look at the content and get your thoughts and opinions about the series and stuff. And we'll see how it turns out. Thursday, June 6th. Y'all check it out. ESPN, ABC. With that, we're heading to the Final Swish. Zay, I'm gonna let you go first though, because I got some stuff to say.
Oh, I got you. My Final Swish for the day. Shout out to the Sacramento Kings. They just extended Coach Mike Brown. I was seeing that he was eligible for an extension with his team, and they were kind of like, there were reports that they were like, oh, we don't know, being kind of cautious. And I was like, don't be dumb, guys. Extend him, because y'all hadn't been to the playoffs for how many years without before Mike Brown got there. I'm just saying. But yeah, shout out to Coach Mike Brown. I love that young Sacramento squad. Hoping they come back stronger next year. Obviously didn't get to where they needed to this year, but they'll be back, and they got a good coach there.
Yeah, from first reference, what we talked about earlier in the start of the show. Inside the NBA, got one more season with them. NBC is apparently winning the rights, so we don't know what's going to happen inside the NBA, but let's enjoy this classic team for at least one more season until we say goodbye to them. And I want to say one more thing about WNBA related. Y'all chill out on this Caitlin Clark stuff a little bit. We know Caitlin Clark, she's a rookie. Y'all chill out. I'm talking about on both sides a little bit. A little bit on both sides. Y'all chill out. Let Caitlin adjust and do her thing. And I don't care that another player pushed her. I don't care about that. Y'all calling for heads to be cut off and stuff, man. Y'all chill out. It's a game. it's all about mentality in sports. She's showing like, hey, you ain't blah blah blah. Like I have no problem with the shove. Like
Yeah.
it's a game, man. And like, of course, and Caitlin's I'm sure is ready for the hate that she's going to get because again, she's doing a lot of positives for the game, private flights. You know what I'm saying? More attention, revenue, all that stuff. So you see the positives. It's obviously gonna come with some cons as well, and I feel like Caitlyn can handle it. But the noise on the outside, fans, everybody else, y'all just chill out. It's just a shove. She ain't punch her. It was just a shove. Like y'all chill out. Don't call for no suspension and all this other stuff, man. Y'all chill out with that. That's my final switch, bro.
I agree, bro. I 100% agree with you on that Caitlin Clark point. Like it's basketball, and if everyone's like jumping to protect her, you could probably support the WNBA a little bit more than you're doing because you're just now like hopping on and trying to protect one particular player. The game is physical. Like there's attitude, there's energy. Like let it be. That's all I'm gonna say about it, bro. This is random, but before we get out of here, I just had this thought. Unfortunately, our teams didn't get to our goals this year, but it's been a very, very entertaining playoffs. For me, it's been like a lot less stressful because I'm like, all right, well, I don't have any like particular saying this, but I do have like my people I'm rooting for. But just to shout out the home squads. Q, what is your Mount Rushmore of OKC players? And what I mean by that is not necessarily like, all right, the most winning in this, the most this, that. Who to you for like the history of your organization has like exuded, this is what Oklahoma City Thunder basketball is. And while you're thinking, I'll say mine, for example, obviously for the Heat, Dwayne Wade. Favorite player, one of the greatest players of all time. I have to also say Alonzo Mourning, toughness, grit and grind, blocking shots, defending. My third guy, I'm gonna go with. This is a tough one. I'm gonna say Udonis Haslem. Very much just about that, I'm undrafted. I'm going to come in here, work harder than everybody else. And now I'm the all-time leading rebounder. And then I'm going to say, for my last one, it would be too easy to say Bron, but I feel like he's very much part of our history now. But I think I will go with... I'll go with Tim Hardaway, Sr. I feel like he had a lot of attention in Miami. He put us on the map a little bit in the 90s. Him and Alonzo Mourning. Very good time. Killer crossover. So, that's my Heat round, Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, I got you. When you first said that, first person came to my mind was like Nick Collison for OKC. He embodies like the culture of OKC, what we do. So if y'all heard Nick Collison, like he actually has we have his jersey retired too. And I'm just sticking with the OKC franchise, or I'm going back to Supersonics because that's technically where we came from.
Yeah,
but I'll stick with just OKC for now though, because
that's fair.
The league is going to expand soon. Maybe we may get another team back in Seattle. That'd be cool if we do. So I'm just stick to OKC. But of course, Nick Collison to me, I like what Shea is doing. I know he's real young in his career right now, but I love his attitude and mindset. I'll put him up there. I have to include Russ. I feel like for that, at least especially for that stretch run he had by himself, he still gave his OKC fans some hope and some entertainment value. I add KD because KD. I have to include KD because KD, from his start with the franchise to when he left, he still embodied like the culture. He helped out a lot in the community. He still embodied a lot of the things. So those Russ. So I got some of the past and the future on there. Nick Collison. I like Jeff Green too. Jeff Green was. I don't know if he stayed with us long enough though. I feel like I stayed a certain amount of years though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, even Kirk was on our team for a little bit. So like, but I'm still with Serge was on there. All right, so I stick with I still with KD, Russ, Shea, and Nick Collison. Steven Adams too. Ooh, I like Steven Adams.
Yeah. It's
we had some good squads coming through OKC, man. The Spaz brothers, remember them?
I feel that it's hard to say because you think about a lot of the guys that you've had on past squads. Like I said, I had LeBron, Chris Bosh, Mario Chalmers, like dudes that have like been big time. Ray Allen was part of the Heat. He's very much a big part of the last championship we won. So it's like, damn, who do you put on there? But I agree, like certain tenures, certain moments, certain energy that you bring. Like I just picture like, all right, if I see a Heat jersey, I can see this person in it, type of thing. So I think that's solid, bro. Like Shea, to me, I hope he like stays with y'all forever because I love Shea. I think he's great. I think he's going to be a future like force in this league for a long time to come. So I couldn't agree more with that list.
Yeah, I like your list too, bro. That's a good question, man. That's good. Final Swish right there too, bro.
Yeah, it's just random. Just random thoughts.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Swish Masters Podcast. We'll be back to react to Game 1 and predict Game 2. And y'all stick with us for the finals for these news and updates and stuff, man. We'll get into some more NBA news if we have any by the time we get to reacting and predicting. So, but y'all stay tuned, and we'll be back to the triple threat for real. We got y'all. I know y'all waiting on that one. We got you for real. There's a lot of stuff going on. We'll get into that too, but till then, I'm logging off. I appreciate y'all. Peace.
Deuces.
Oh.